Dad, I think it's time to go to the hospital. You're really ill with lung cancer, and I think you should seek professional help.
No, I'm fine. I'm on my last smoke. Just go get me some smokes.
Dad, you've been smoking a pack a day for the past 20 years. Don't you want to see my new baby?
Well, yeah, but damage is already done. You know, I don't want to go back. Just maybe go get me some smokes.
All right. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Sadu. I'm Michelle. I'm going to be your home care nurse today. How are you feeling today?
I'm so glad you're here. He's been doing very bad lately. He hasn't kept anything down except some ginger ale and has thrown up several times in the last 24 hours.
There's so much pain.
Okay, well, hang on a minute. We're going to take some vitals on you first, all right?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Sadu, I'm just going to start by taking your pulse. All right, Mr. Sadu, now I'm just going to take your blood pressure, all right? You just lift your arm up here. It's quite a nasty cough you have there. All right, here we go. Okay, and the last thing I need to do is take your temperature. So if you could take your cigarette out of your mouth, that'd be great. I'll just get that for you. Here you go, open wide. Alright, so your vitals are all done now, so I just have a few questions left to ask you, alright?
Don't bother. It's too difficult, too painful. I just want to die happy, man.
Since we've all been taking care of Mr. Sadu, I figured we should just sit down and discuss his holistic care. I guess I'll start with the physiological variable. The thing that we need to mainly assess still is where he's having the pain and how bad it really is, as well as what type of effect the current dose of morphine sulfate is having on his pain, and finally if he's using any other alternative treatments to help him deal with the pain. All right, Brittany, how about the psychological variable?
Well, for the psychological variable, I'd really like to know how Mr. Sadu feels about dying. Also, there seems to be some conflict between his daughter's wishes and his own, so how he feels about that, I think would be important. And he's refused any further treatment, at least within a hospital setting, so I'd like to know what led him to that decision. I know he's lost a lot of weight, so I'd like to know how that's changed his body image, and if he's had any changes in self-worth since he's become so ill in the last few weeks. Jody, how about you and the spiritual variable?
I'm extremely concerned about Mr. Sadu's variance in hope. Thus, I think it's important to focus on his purpose and meaning, what brings meaning to his life, what sources of hope have sustained him in the past. Also, what meaning does his family bring to him? Further to that, I think it's important to focus where he draws his strength and hope from, and to find out how we can, and his family can assist him in his final days. What's important to him.
Definitely.
So, what were you thinking about the developmental variable?
Well, I was thinking that we should really find out what the significant events are in Mr. Sadu's life. Also, how does he feel about the direction of his life now that he's been diagnosed with carcinoma? Also, does he feel comfortable enough with his relationships with his family members, enough to be able to leave them permanently? And then also, have there been any other traumatic or difficult events in his life that has changed the path? So what were you thinking for the sociocultural variable?
Well, I think one really important thing we need to keep in mind is we're not of the same culture as Mr. Sadu, with him being Indo-Canadian. There's some things we're going to need to understand a little better in order to help him. One of those is what cultural practices and values are of most importance to him. Also, what behaviors may be acceptable versus unacceptable for a male in his culture. I know he's had some issues accepting traditional healthcare as far as being in a hospital setting, so maybe knowing some healing practices in his culture that he would be accepting of. Also, if his family has participated in healthcare in the past, or how they've participated in healthcare in the past. And finally, what's normally expected of a husband, a father, in his particular culture. Okay, so I think it's really great that we've discussed Mr. Sadu's holistic care. Now that we have a base to go off of, things we need to know, I think we should work on coming up with a care plan for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Me too.
Behind the scenes.
Am I doing it now?
Were we filming?
No.
Oh, I thought we were filming.
See, and I did it right that time.
Okay.
Well, cut.
It's alright. You alright? It's alright. You're alright. You're alright. You're alright. 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 Alright, so acting is not going to be my forte.
Beep.
Alright, so since all of us.
Here, let's try that again.
Yeah, I'm like.
His faith. I was thinking where he draws. Oh, I screwed this up.
Alright, here we go. Brittany, how about the psychological variable?
Saying it now.
I just want to die happy, man.
We were just practicing that still.
All right.
Don't film that.
Cut.
Yeah.
You guys laugh. You didn't have to do anything.
I mean, you just had to play fat person and like sit there and go like, I'm pregnant, I'm in so much pain. All right.
That's going on the blooper reel.
Okay. So, what were you thinking about the developmental variable?
Well, I was thinking that we should assess.
Like, what do you think of the So, what were you thinking about the developmental variable?